Alright, alright, alright. It is time for the return of Diamond in the Rough. Down here at the bottom left-hand side, representing Storm, our favorite creative Terran player, the one and only Ruff. He's going to get ready to rough up this Protoss player. Up here in the top right-hand side, a red player. It is Chelsea Fan. He's going to be walling off that Reaper jump-in location. Not always the most important thing against Ruff. He's not the biggest fan of going for the Reaper openings. He likes the quick factory, getting out the Marines, or maybe a Marauder or two for safety. We'll see exactly what he goes for here. It's going to be a gas-first opening. You were thirsty, so I gave you my beer. Nice. Very nice, Luke. Beer, everyone knows alcohol cures thirst and definitely doesn't dehydrate you in the long run, for sure. Looks like scouting for proxies is Chelsea Fan, making sure there's no sneaky plays. So rather safe play. The thing is, though, are we going to scout across the map at all? I feel like Ruff sometimes will play one base for ages, but in this game so far, I'm curious. You know, he is the kind of guy who might just go factory reactor, not even maybe build one Marine and just try to go Hellions before expand. Nexus does go down. SCV unable to block that. And Cybercore is going to finish the wall off on the high ground. And, whoa, there we go. Nicely done. Main base looking healthy here for Chelsea Fan. And that core is not super fast, right? This was a 21 Nexus 21 core, but straight into the second gas. He's going to get the pylon at the front. This probe scouts. And seeing the tech lab on the barracks, you have all the warning you need to know that this is going to be a Marauder opening. I mean, this is a perfect situation for you as the Protoss player. I mean, I think Ruff here could walk across the map with 3 Marauders, rally a Hellion, and do a cute little pressure, but I don't really see it being particularly effective. Now, what is that for? Oh, is he going to go Cyclones? Is he going to swap the barracks around, maybe? So this could be a barracks to scout the high ground. If he tries to go 2 Marauder Hellion poke, swaps this on the tech lab, gets mag field, starts pumping out Cyclones, maybe even gets a second factory. He doesn't have the gas for it. So no, he's just going to build Marines out of this? He's going to float this into the main. I have no fucking idea, guys. Ruff is doing a crazy build order. Chelsea Fan has clearly been proxied before by Ruff. Who the fuck is scouting at 2 minutes 40 for this? Like, what? I guess you know he's on one base. You know there could be a factory or a starport. You're not expecting to find a second barracks building after the factory has already started. This is a bizarre move. Now, this kind of baits the units out, though. And that means the Marauders, if they come up here, they could catch this Stalker, catch the next Stalker outside of the base. There's no shield battery yet. A second gateway's down, but there's not many units. Chelsea Fan is like, oh, yes, I'm shutting down the barracks. This is so good for me. No, this is a disaster, mate. You're going to lose your Stalker. Then you're only going to have 1 Stalker left to defend. This is so bad. The Marauders... Oh, quick reaction from Chelsea Fan. The probe spots it, runs away, doesn't get tagged, recalls, only loses 1 probe. Well done, Chelsea Fan. Big APM. Quick reactions. Very well done. Chelsea Fan is up 5 workers. Has an Nexus finished, has a few batteries to reinforce. Ruff's just started his command center, and he's in a pretty shitty position. 4 Marauders, 2 Hellions. I mean, it's a cute poke because Marauders can take down shield batteries. Oh, he wants to kill the buildings. Oh, of course. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's a very clever way of doing it. So he's gonna, oh, wait. Warp gate 2 seconds from being complete, and he's gonna focus it down. Okay, that pylon's going to try and repower it. Do you think he can even get it in time? I don't know if he can. The Stalkers and the Sentry's going to try and come out to fight here, but look at that. The Hellions just run straight past. They have to chase those units. The Probe's trying to fight as well. That means no warp gate for you. Oh my god, you cheeky dickhead. And because of that, oh no, he pulls his probes. He's stacking his probes. Chelsea Fan's panicking. Chelsea Fan is panicking. You needed to come back with the Stalkers and Sentries, mate. He's down on the low ground trying to kill the Marauders, and whilst he will probably win that fight, he had to just give up, abandon this area and defend the Hellions, and he would have been fine. He had more workers. He would have said, okay, we lose that, but just rebuild the Cybercore, start making unupgraded Zealots, whatever you want. But Ruff was able to put him in this awkward situation. No Protoss wants to lose Warp Gate. No Protoss wants to be without that upgrade or without a Cybercore. And the Protoss panics, gets baited into thinking that's the problem when it was barely the problem. It was the least important part of the attack. And look at that, he's even getting 2 more probes. You're kidding me. Wow, what a dickhead. I love it. Well done, Ruff. Well done. What a brilliant opening. And this Hellion even microing. I'm like, go home and drop some mules and build another command center, Ruff. Stop fucking around, dude. He's gonna go ghost. So he's gonna go ghost mech. He's got 3 factories, the barracks, the ghost academy. The forward barracks does go down. I do think if Chelsea fan chronos probes for the next few minutes could absolutely recover, because I've talked about before that Ruff's problem is he does camp on 2 base for like eons against Protoss. What I like about the difference this time, though, is he's actually got follow-up pressure in that he's got Hellions. But because he doesn't get a starport a lot of the time until he wants to go BCs, after the opening pressure, it feels like there's this like big window where if the Protoss holds down the probe key, nothing really punishes them. So I'd actually love to see these Hellions just run in and just try and kill some probes. Yeah, it's your only units right now, so you don't really want to lose them, but I think it would be a good move. Hallucination seeing 6 Hellions. If I was Chelsea fan, I'd be like, oh, okay, we gotta be blocking the front of this base. But for now, probes are being chronoed. You can see fully saturated natural, back on gas in the main, only 4 probes and minerals, so only 20 workers mining minerals. Ruff has a very big economic advantage right now, but he does hit a little bit of a supply block, and for some reason he's got 2 reactor factories. The fuck? Is Ruff gonna do a 2 ghost 20 Hellbat timing or something? He's making mass Hellions and a nuke. He's going to do a mass Hellion nuke follow. What? This is so fucking silly. Oh, don't go. Oh, Chelsea fan with what I would call a huge mistake. I don't know. Some people really like against mech going Sky Toss, but there's no way Chelsea fan has the economy. And a late Stargate is basically the worst tech you can go into. Stargates are good when they're early because you scout exactly what your opponent's doing, you harass them before they're ready for it. It can be very powerful. But if you're already into Robo-Tac, going a Stargate here and then a Twilight, Chelsea fan seems scattered in focus, and despite trying to recover economically, never built a 3rd Nexus, which is a huge mistake because, like I said, if you want to recover in this sort of game, a 3rd Nexus is integral. You need to be able to just chrono probes up to 3 bases and hopefully get back in it. Instead, hasn't really built any fighting units, is trying to defend with shield batteries. Has an observer, but that's just so many Hellions. Will they just run past? If they just run past and get on the probe lines, this will be a win for Ruff, I think. Observer sees it. Observer sees it. I think you just got to force field this out. There's force fields. Preemptively, you've got to force field. You know he has ghosts. You've got to do it beforehand. Another one before you get EMP'd. Good force fields. That buys a few seconds of time. The warp gate is finally done here. Warp in some units. Chelsea fans just panicking. Is not building any units right now. Has got to make more units. Okay, a nuke going from there. I think that's okay, though. Losing that is not the end of the world. Hellions are just YOLOing in here. Shield battery overcharge. Battery overcharge. Chelsea fan, you've got a battery overcharge, mate. Does it? But the nuke! Oh my god, you could just see the panicked goat movements. Chelsea fan was like... It's one of those things in StarCraft where you're so used to having programmed responses to everything. Someone comes at you with a fucking 20 Hellion 2 ghost attack and your brain just breaks. You're like, oh, like he warped in 3 stalkers here, didn't make any units out of the robo, is trying to make oracles, I guess. I don't know what happened to the previous oracle. Maybe this is the first one. But this is just so funny, right? Because it was like, oh yeah, like this is actually a really good start to the D, and Hellions are really bad versus Stalkers and Immortals, but Chelsea fan clumps them as much as possible and doesn't battery overcharge. So once that battery uses up the juice, there's no healing anymore. It's a good Guardian Shield. That reduces a lot of the Hellion damage. It's trying to block the Hellions from getting through, but it's like move commanding units. And then it's like, if you just move up to the left there, your army might get slightly clipped, but you're fine. I'm like, I think you can survive there, but let's be real. It's hard to put all those pieces together in the heat of the moment. GG, well played, Ruff. Yet again, another lovely display. GG's.